Welcome to the morning after Wildcard week here in the CFFL. We have a quick show again today. We'll kind of breeze through the results of the week and then get to the all-fantasy team and the fantasy honors. So we'll get to the week that was. First of all, we'll go into the Wildcard week results in the winners bracket. First of all, the news there is the sun has risen in the east and Griff has also lost. Again, 0-6 now in the playoffs. The second time he's lost to the Badgers. Badgers have won 3 playoff games in their history, 2 of them against Griff, the other one against me in the Super Bowl. And a heck of a week by both teams, actually, but the Badgers, thanks to Le'Veon Bell's huge day, and Tom Brady had a big day too, they moved past the Gargoyles. The other one saw the Horn Dogs take down the Garbage Men, 69.5-36. The Cardinals and Team Prices Right are both very lucky they were off as they both scored in the 40s and 50s respectively. Actually 50 and 40. Not good for them, but luckily they weren't playing, so they don't have to worry about it. Consolation round saw the Dingoes take down the Bucks. That means they will then play the lower seeded team left. The Bucks still move on, even though they lost that game. Tice's take down and Rogers We Trust, and the Bruisers take down Team LBM. So next week the Dingoes will play the Tices, and the Bruisers will play the Bucks next week. Before we get to the next thing, there was an anomaly in the Wiffle League, which is kind of the minor league to this. It's unusual. I've never seen this happen in fantasy, but the first and second place team in points both missed the playoffs. The number 1 seed in the playoffs in that league had the 8th most points, and the team that made the playoffs, the last team that made the playoffs, had the least points in the league. So that was an anomaly like I've never seen, and probably, but the chances that happen again are very slim, but it did happen. Sucks for the first and second place team. Now on to the fantasy honors. Fantasy honors start off with the Dave Pujic Award for the most transactions of the year, and since Josh is no longer in the league, I tend to win that mostly years, although Team Price is Right almost beat me with that one. 1 transaction behind me. The Errict Rhett Award for the Comeback Player of the Year. DeMarco Murray went from the 19th running back, even though he seemed worse than that last year, to number 4 this year and became a fantasy force again. Kurt Warner Award, the undrafted free agent, goes to Jamison Crowder, who ended the year as the number 10 wide receiver. Remember the Horn Dogs, a good signing by the Horn Dogs there. Tom Brady Award for the best late round draft pick for the second straight year goes to the Bucks. This year taking Jordan Howard in the 17th round. Ended up being a top 15 running back by the end of the year. So pretty good award there. Ryan Leaf Award for the first round bust. Even though I took him, Kent did trade for him, so Kent also gets to share this with me. The Bucks get to share the award of getting Todd Gurley, the 4th overall pick, ended up as the 26th running back, as the Rams' terrible season helped lead to that. And finally, the MVP, although he didn't have the most points in the league, David Johnson wins as he was probably the biggest force. 14.5 points per game. The next running back was like a 1.5 behind him. Drew Brees actually had the most points, but he was only 0.2 points more than Rodgers. He had 18.1. So David Johnson on Team Price is Right get the MVP. Now on to the all-fantasy team, and then also have a comparison as to some of the stuff from last year. As you saw last year, the top quarterback was Tom Brady, had 19 points. This year, the top quarterback was Drew Brees at 18.1. Top running back was, one of the top 2 running backs was David Johnson at 14.5. The other one was Ezekiel Elliott with 13.2. Last year, we only had 1 running back who had more than 10 points. This year it was 6. Maybe the return of the running back in fantasy. So we'll have to see next year. Probably the draft will feature Elliott and David Johnson 1-2 in the league. Le'Veon Bell might have something to say about that, though. Those will probably be the top 3 picks. This year's top pick still did represent well. 10 points per game for Antonio Brown for the Garbage Men. Mike Evans had 9.8 for Team Price is Right. And Jordy Nelson at 8.6 for the Horn Dogs. Last year, 3 receivers at 10-plus points. This year, only 1. So kind of a shift there this year. A lot of goal line carries, not as many Gronk touchdowns, stuff like that kind of led to the switch. Also, the top flex option this year was Melvin Gordon, another running back. He averaged 11.7 for Team Price is Right. Team Price is Right was pretty highly represented in this all-fantasy team. But all-fantasy team is not over yet. The Dan Kaufman spot, aka the kicker. This year was a tie between Matt Bryant and Justin Tucker, each with 10.9. The Bruisers and the Cardinals had that. And then the top defense, although they've been not so good lately, the Viking defense I had with 7.2. Last year the Broncos averaged 8.5. So not as good as the Broncos last year. Finally, we'll end with the games of the week. Badgers play the Price is Right. Horn Dogs play the Cardinals. Early lines look like the Price is Right and the Horn Dogs are each favored by about 3 to 5 points. Just a quick glance. So it'll be a good matchup next week. Good luck to everybody. Remember, if you're in the consolation round, you can keep playing, and you're playing for that prestigious Jim Shavina consolation belt. The rest of us, and even the 5th and 6th place teams, so the Garbage Men and the Gargoyles, are still playing. I think it's a $15 game this week. Whoever gets 5th as opposed to 6th. So best of luck to everyone, and tune in next week. Probably. Not sure I'll do a show next week, but we'll see. Anyway, best of luck, and thanks for watching.